Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. It's like in Warlord. Stash. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about something today that's been, in my opinion, a long time coming. But we're going to talk about things that have happened recently with Gala, in particular with the founders nodes, and what I and some others think is the appropriate action going forward. So, that all being said, hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Press the button. All right. So this is a letter that I've had drafted up. We're going to go over it in a second. But before we do that, let's go to Gala's news outlet, news.com, news.gala.com. You know, the source of all the information you've ever needed in your entire life. If we scroll down, you'll see recent news. We've got two things that we're really going to talk about here. And the first one is involving a ecosystem update. They're pausing film emissions. So you remember that node that you bought that you're supposed to, run your node is supposed to run the ecosystem. Remember that? Remember how that's how the founders nodes are supposed to work, and Townstar nodes and all these nodes for all these games that didn't happen, and you remember all that? Well, film's the same thing. No more. Same. It's funny because they did the same thing with Osme, but Osme's not technically Gala, but that's for another video. Osme's owned by Bene, the CEO of Gala Games. He owns Osme, and they paused their node emissions as well. Yeah, there's a trend here. There's a trend, if you will, going forward. So that's just happened, but we're not concerned as much with that. What we're concerned about today is the founders node staking. What has changed? Now, what's interesting is I don't have a founders node, so this is all anecdotal coming from apparently a lot of people that have founders nodes, and they aren't quite happy with what's going on. Node staking is coming. Now, Bene had posted about this on Twitter last month. Let me see if I can find that real quick. All right, here we go. This is Bene's profile, bragging about the amount that was bridged. That's a whole nother story. The DEX, that's basically just Gala's way of making more money off of idiots, with someone named Jeroen Van Beck saying, the DEX looks amazing, let's see where it goes. He's not paid to shill or anything. Gala Games, none of this matches. Okay, here we go. Pay attention. In mid-June, we will implement phase alpha of the 1 million staking requirement. But that was originally announced right here. Did he get rid of it? Here it is. This was the original post. This is back in May. If all 50K, basically this is, surprising. There wasn't that much all-encompassing support. And if you look at the comments, they're the ones that he's blocked. Not great. A lot of them are spam, but not great. So anyway, that was the post that triggered this on the radar. So now it's official. So now officially, if you own a Gala founders node, you have to stake Gala to be able to earn your rewards, your daily distribution. And we're not going to go into any details about this. If you want to check this out, I'll drop this link down below, because the priority of what I want to talk about today is this letter that we've had written up. And the point of this is to get a hold of Binance, and through all different methods. We'll go over those at the end. I'm going to briefly go over this letter, and then go through all the ways you can contact Binance. And then after that, if you guys want to stick around, I'll go through some of these points in a little more detail. If you're curious as to what we're talking about, maybe some of this information is new to you, right? So that's the plan. We're going to run through this real quick, because I know your time is valuable. So, Binance listing review team. I write to request the delisting of the Gala token due to material governance failures and alleged financial misconduct by BGP, also known as Gala Games. Although Gala retains high market value, the decisions of the company's current leadership proved to be a significant threat to the token, Binance, and its users. We've got customer disenfranchisement. Critical part of Gala's early appeal was the promise of decentralization through their founders node network. Operating one of the 50,000 nodes offered participation in the platform's future, with documented voting mechanisms historically used to determine changes to reward distribution and platform direction. On June 16, 2025, CEO Eric Schiermeyer, also known as Benefactor0101 on Twitter, unilaterally imposed a new staking requirement of 1 million Gala per node, which is approximately 15,000 USD, with Gala at 1.5 cents, as a condition to earn full no rewards without any governance vote. This is the key thing here, not necessarily what he did, but how he did it, which is that he did it without a governance vote. This change reduces the number of eligible node operators from gaining full rewards from over 30,000 to less than 4,000. We're going to skip over this. We all know Bene's a piece of shit. We all know that. We all know he treats his customers like trash. New governance-related language was also quietly added into Gala's terms of service. Node rewards and distributed as part of centralized. Okay, so we'll look at the old terms of service and we'll see what the new ones are later. It's important to note that Gala users have no way of accessing their funds on Gala chain without accepting these terms. So if you don't agree to the new terms, you can't log into your account. Now, mass liquidation. Gala claims the new founders' node requirements are intended to curb Gala and sales by node operators, effectively pressuring the community into holding rather than exercising liquidity. Despite the outward stance on long-term holding, on-chain analysis shows mass Gala liquidation by wallets associated with Gala and its executives. Crazy how they have all these people associated with them that just, they tell you to hold, but then they sell. And so we'll look at those later. Failure to deliver. Despite the generating nearly $2 billion in revenue through token and node sales in 2021-2022, Gala has failed to deliver on many titles and initiatives that justified the initial community investments. Talking about all of these. Ongoing co-founders litigation. The lawsuit's still going on, by the way. The latest update I had for you is that both Bene and Thurston have had counsel withdrawn, and currently Thurston needed to file by the 16th who his new attorneys were or whatever. But other than that, we don't have any real big updates for that. You guys know about the lawsuit. We'll go over those points later. Here's the key thing. Why should Binance take action? As one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, Binance bears both the opportunity and responsibility of protecting its users. Gala still sees its considerable trading volume, but I believe that continued support for this token exposes users to undue risk due to legal uncertainty stemming from the executive dispute, undermined decentralization and governance contrary to token claims, unfulfilled utility by canceled and abandoned products, ongoing liquidation by insider wallets totaling over $1.6 billion. These concerns align with several of Binance's own stated delisting criteria, including evidence of unethical or fraudulent conduct by project team members, contribution to a healthy and sustainable crypto ecosystem, level of development activity and responsiveness to user concerns, and stability and safety of the token's network and governance model. The Gala token no longer meets the standards of Binance, in my view. Large exchanges like Coinbase have already decided to delist Gala. That was 2023 when they did that, right? So I, as a member of the Gala community and the broader crypto ecosystem, why can't I copy anymore? Why won't let me copy? Anyway, that's weird. I remember the Gala community and the broader crypto ecosystem respectfully request that Binance initiate a formal review of Gala's continued listing. Even a fraction of these issues had occurred in a more prominent token, delisting would be considered not only reasonable, but necessary. It is time for Binance to act in line with its user-first mission and consider the delisting of Gala. Sincerely, a concerned member of the Gala community. Now, this document, we were going to put one with like a signature. If you want to edit this document however you want, go right ahead. This is just the base model document. I'm going to put it right now on Google Drive, and I'm going to show you the link. This is the new link. So I'm going to share this link, and you guys can get access to it if you'd like. Also, getting a hold of me on Discord is another easy way to get it. I'm going to post it in my Discord as soon as we get this video up. Now that you've got that document and you are comfortable with what the document says, then let's figure out how do we get this information to Binance. All right, so this is Binance's Twitter, the main Binance Twitter. But if we type in Binance here in the search, we'll see that you've got Binance, you've got CZ, who's like the founder, right, of Binance. You've got Binance customer support. You've got multiple Binance versions for different areas in the world. Binance US, all of these things. So let's go ahead and we're going to make a post. Go Gala Games. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll do a hashtag Gala. All right. Can we attach multiple pictures? I'm going to take screenshots of this document and we're going to attach them as pictures. But here we go. Here's our open letter tweet. I'm going to go ahead and post it. Boom. That way that's done. and we're gonna go from there. So I'm gonna get this edited and out as fast as possible. But I just tweeted it. That's it. It's out. It's out into infinity. So that being said, we can send it on Twitter. We also have the support center for Binance. I can't have a Binance account because I'm in the U.S. So if you can access that way, they have a login. Would you stop asking me for notification? You can contact Binance on their main pages. I would imagine Twitter's probably the best place to go for it because you can tag everybody else. Binance contact email. Let's see if they got an email. If you have a complaint, please contact BAM Trading Services. Okay, so we do have inquiries at Binance.us. To be honest, if there is a Binance US, I guess I could make an account. How to contact customer support. So there's a lot of other ways. I'm going to go ahead and say Twitter's probably the easiest thing. If you want to just stick to Twitter, go right ahead. Who knows how active they are checking emails, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, there you go. I'll share a link to this one that I might post as well, if you guys give a dang. With that all being said, here we are. That's the update. We're going to drop... We'll drop B-Pain's track right here, and then after B-Pain's track, we'll come back and I'll start going over some of these items that are in the letter. So if you're unfamiliar with what's going on, you can stay up to date. All right, this is it. If you're hanging out, this is it. If you're done here, appreciate you being here. Take care. I'm liking Warlord. Stash. Love y'all. Take care, and I'll see you on the flip side. All right. Bye.
I get tired of stupidity at this level. I'm giving yo money and I'm the devil. I got 50 dudes working hard, so suck my dick. I literally have guys so stressed they're getting sick. You're a fucking parasite that don't care about the game. You better recognize this band Hummer's got auto wing. I feel fucking bad for weeds unless I bend someone, because my dick weighs fucking more than a gross ton. Fucking feeling about the drop of us trolls. I'm not a fish man, but I do like avocado rolls. Some asshole decided to crochet it on Gala. Fuck him, I'll send them straight to Gala. Don't fucking point out every Gala shortcoming. Step the fuck back, cease and desist incoming. This isn't the forum for you guys to bitch, so be careful, I got a serious man itch. Stop your bitching, you're all bitching. The wine and bitching, fucking would stop bitching. This is our house, fucking don't be an asshole. Business plan, don't be a fucking asshole. Yes, that is me you were talking about. Home flies, and I'm banned for that without thinking twice. I know I'm not a fucking people pleaser, but as promised, here is a little dragon teaser.
I suppose it's time for an AMA, I guess.
All right, we're back. Hope you like B-Pain. B-Pain's like the newest just hit rapper on Gala Music right now. But if we come here, you can see we've got this link. We've got some hyperlinks in here. This is basically just linking to the Gala coin on Binance's website. Not really that important. The disenfranchisement. So the whole thing, we could sit there and we could go over what was all the things about founders nodes when they were sold to everyone. But this is really the big standing point. Obviously, it's bolded, right? Without any governance vote. So I've got some screenshots here of the latest votes that Founders Node had. The Founders Node holders had since the start of 2025. All right, here you can see we've got two different verifications, two different screenshots, both verifying that there was a vote on May 7th and a vote on June 15th. Both of those don't mention what we're talking about, which is that they are doing this staking thing. So, yeah, no vote. So that's the big thing. Do you mind? I'm recording. All right. So, I mean, do we really need to go through all the times that Bene's talk shit about people, and particularly these parasite comments are in relation to those that are complaining about what's happening, which is that I bought a node not knowing that, with under the guise of just running the node and I'd get my distribution, not that I have to stake 1 million Gala to be able to get 100% of my rewards. Now, the other big thing in this one is that they've changed the terms of service. Now, they've done that often, right? But let's compare the terms of service now to what it used to be when, let's say, a couple years ago. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and try and log in because I'm trying to find copies of the new updated and I can't. So here we go. At that Gala Games. Let's see what happens. I've been playing Town Star, so I've been logged. Okay, so here we go. Here's the new terms of service. All right, so we're gonna copy all of this. Okay, so this is the new terms of service. Now, if we compare it to what's right behind it, see how it said it was updated June 16th? This is the latest update, December 16th. So basically what I'm going to do is we're going to put these two into like a document compare, and we'll see what comes out. All right, so we got both of them in here. This is December, and this is December 22, and this is this month, a couple days ago in June. Find difference. Let's see if we can find some differences here. All right, so we got some baby changes here. Let's scroll down here. We see Gala, Gala code of, Gala site, Gala. All this stuff's not really too important. It's all basically, it's Gala being changed to lowercase for some reason. That could just be a formatting thing. I'm not sure. Okay. Gala must be supported. This was added. Gala app must be supported web browser, desktop. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. Let's keep scrolling. A lot of this is the same ones. Okay. Each user is permitted to have one Gala app unless an exception. User can have more than one Gala app. So this is 159. So this was added in right here. If user creates more than one Gala app, so this is about multi-accounting. For initial sign up, user may opt to purchase a name tag. Okay, and then they mention Telegram. So again, not super important, relevant to what we're talking about now. Okay, we got credit card purchases, so that's been changed. Again, not too worried about that. Payment processors, we're not worried about that. Payment processor represents, we're not worried about any of that. Okay, here we go. Daily. This is transactional limits. Okay, refunds. All sales are final. Company makes no warranties regarding the performance or operation of the website or Gala services. Okay, cool. They added that in. Great. Wonderful. All right. User takes responsibility. This is conduct. They added in value. Gala values transparency and is committed to providing users the best experience. However, to protect the users and comply with their legal obligations, Gala reserves the right to take action with or without advance notice if Gala believes the user has violated terms and conditions. User agrees not to violate any law, contract, okay. And use of others. So this is talking about multi-accounting pretty much. So we're not worried about that. This is a whole bunch of stuff we don't really care about. Any product or service, resell. Okay, ability at all times. Gala Games committed. Sanctions. Okay, removed. Add rights of others. Okay. Terminate all Gala user accounts. They removed all that. Okay. Don't really care about any of that also. We're going to keep scrolling. Okay, here we go. Gala and user recognize that from time to time amendments will be made to the Gala game node network. So this was removed. What was added? Node rewards are distributed as part of a decentralized operational framework and are not guaranteed, fixed, or promised. The reward structure may be updated periodically in response to ecosystem governance, sustainability goals, or evolving compliance considerations. So that's interesting because if you look here, this says that they would do a proposed amendment, that there would be amendments that would go through. So this was the big change that everybody was talking about. Let's look at it in picture form. All right, so this is if you try, when I tried to log in, you saw I had this terms of service there, right? Okay, so if you see here, this was from that original document, the December document. Gala does not maintain or host any Gala Games nodes, which we know is in fact not true because we know that Bene and Thurston had some, as well as employees and stuff. Excuse me. So maybe they're saying, okay, with technically the company Gala, but this is a bit deceptive. I thought I'd bring that up. Okay, here we go. We got the nodes. The user understands that while it may from time to time receive rewards in line with the distribution schedule of the node ecosystem, subject to change. Said reward is solely earned because of and as a direct result of work accomplished and performed by the user, i.e. work done by the node. The user recognizes that should the user never actually run the node, it will receive no rewards. So you're directly saying that if you run your node, you get rewards. That's what they're saying there. Gala has no control of the method in which rewards are distributed to the Gala game node. That's also not true because of what they're doing right now. And then it talks about selling, which we're not worried about that per se. So what else did I want to go? We had another one. Okay, Gala. This is the one that we just saw was the big change. Okay, so Gala and users both specifically agree that Gala will from time to time present the Gala game node network with proposed amendments that the node network will then vote on whether to implement or not. It's called a governance vote. The user understands that proposed amendments will be made at the discretion of Gala, and Gala owes the user no duty or obligation to make proposals in its best interest. So think about that. The user understands the proposed amendments will be made. Gala owes the user no duty or obligation to make proposals in its best interest. So Gala doesn't have to make proposals in your best interest, but they still got to make proposals. The user specifically understands that there may come a time when Gala proposes an amendment that is not in or in direct opposition to the user's best interest, financially or otherwise. The user has no legal recourse. The user's only recourse is to vote against said proposed amendment. Gala and the user both agree that such proposed amendment may be to change the specifications, including what limited interconnection, random exponential, blah, blah, blah. Okay, or the specifications required to run the nodes. Gala and user further agrees that while specifications may be minimal, that is subject to change to the proposed amendment and governance vote. So again, all of this stuff is through a vote, which they did not do. Bene pushed this through without a vote, which is really the big summation of this part. Mass liquidation. So let's move on. Let's look at what's here. We've got 4 links. Let's check these out. Gala claims that it is to curb the Gala sales. However, if we use Arkham, this and this and this and this. So we have a 1.3 billion in liquidations before Gala made the token contract upgrade to V2, and then once again the liquidation again after the upgrade. So let's check these links out. Okay, so here we go. We have Fuckhead on OpenSea deposited money into this Binance deposit, but you can see this huge spike right here. So let's go. Can we do time? Okay, let's look back at this. 1.3 billion in liquidations before Gala made the token upgrade to Gala V2. We got $1 million in ETH right here being transferred to Binance hot wallet. Got a bunch of USDC. Okay. Let's look at the second link. You can see here we had a big spike here. This is the Gala cash out wallet is what I have it saved as. This was their old cash out wallet. I ended up calling this wallet out the Triple D wallet. They stopped using that. But you can see all the millions of Gala that was transferred out into OKX. And this was, what was our date on this? This was September 2023. Okay. Gala V2 creation date. That was in April. Okay, so this is May 15th, Gala V2. Okay. So what was before then? We had 40 million coming out. This was after, and this was before. So see, this was after, this was before. So this was 2022. So we're not going to worry too much about that, right? Let's look back at this one. This one didn't do anything. This one just sent a bunch of stuff to Binance. Let's go back and look at our links. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's look at this one. Copy link. So this one's still being used. This is Gala's safe proxy. It's got 10 million in there. It's got 502 million Gala. But the question was if it was after, and I don't see that in those links. This and this Gala wallet. Okay, so it's just showing the wallets. It's not showing the transactions themselves. Okay, but what's this last wallet? Let's see. All of these are Gala wallets. Yeah, we can see those big spikes. 22. Okay, that was all done before. Here's 40 million. What's the date? Okay, so there we go. This was done. This is September. So this is liquidating Gala after V2. Let's look at it that way. This was before V2. They sent a bunch of ETH to Binance. That was in October. I don't know if I want to count that. Can we really count that? Let's get rid of this. Yeah, okay, here we go. They sent some to the null address. They burned all that Gala, huh? Like 50 minutes. Yeah, so at the end of the day, these links are interesting. Am I going to die on this hill? Not really. Failure to deliver. I mean, do we really need to go over all this? Osme nodes don't have. They have their distribution put on hold. Let's look at that. Osme. They're to preserve the here we go. Preserve the long-term health. They're temporarily pausing all emissions. So you bought an Osme node. Too bad. The distribution's done. What about film? They just did that. Those ones we looked at earlier. They stopped the emissions for that. Okay, what about Townstars nodes that never really did anything, even though they sold a bunch of shit for them? And they sold all the nodes, and they're supposed to be running the game, but they aren't doing shit. What about those? Is this going to load? Yeah, it is. Township distribution put on pause. That's back in July. So we know that that's a thing. Collaborations, all of this is just, most of the games are dead. They've either been sued or are suing people that made the games. And then the biggest thing ultimately is they sold all these nodes and they're turning off the distribution form, which is the one reason people are keeping them to begin with. Lawsuits filed. I mean, you guys know about the lawsuits. We've gone over it. There's really no updates right now other than both Bene and Thurston had counsel removed, and that they're going to be looking for new counsel shortly. As a matter of fact, I'll pull up the update real quick so you guys can see. Here we go. This is the basically Thurston was granted a motion because he's seeking new counsel. That's literally the biggest update, and that update was on May 19th. So the lawsuit itself is kind of stagnated. Not really interesting going on there. And then why they should take action, I mean, ultimately, Coinbase delisted Gala because of what happened with V2. And I think that was May 3rd, right? There was also the P-Gala issue. This should have had more of an impact than it did, in my opinion. Because the whole reason they made V2 was because he was trying to get rid of all the coins that Thurston supposedly allegedly stole, right? So here we are. I thought there'd be more to go over in this, to be honest, but I mean, I think you guys get the point. You guys know what you're dealing with. If you're here this long, I appreciate it. I'm going to try and edit this nice and succinct, keep this thing under 30 minutes. I appreciate all you being here. God bless you. If you need me, Discord's easy way to get a hold of me. Links down below are going to be some of these articles that we showed, but the first thing you'll see is the link to the folder, which is going to have that document in it, plus the screenshots. Also a link to my tweet that I made. If you want to go share that, whatever, copy paste it in your own way, do whatever. I don't need credit for any of that. The whole point is that we get this attention brought up to Binance and anyone else. That can help make a difference, because at the end of the day, it's not about what Benny did, it's how he did it. And he did it without the node governance vote, which is how they've done everything else for the most part in the ecosystem with that. So if you have a node and you're upset, there's some other things coming out. You may have already heard whispers of it. I'll be making videos about that as soon as I can. Just know my Discord has information. If you'd like to go look around, you can also send me messages. That all being said, hope you're doing well. Hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you may be. I am Liking Warlord. Stash. Love y'all. Take care. Be careful on Discord. Benny's in a banning fit, so roll that clip.
Mana mana. Mana mana.
I think Lyca is the best person I've ever seen. Like I've never seen anyone so amazing. And I've mentioned this before. Lyca is a fantastic person. Really, really, really cool.
Ooh, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want to shout out my Patreons from Patreon, and my new YouTube members as well. I got that going. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so very much. Your help has been crucial to keeping me alive and keep streaming and keep helping and hopefully entertaining you along the way. Anything I can do to make it more worth your while, please let me know down below. Also, you can find me on my Discord. I have my Discord server link down below, Patreon links down below, and then membership should be somewhere around here. Thank you all so very, very much. I really appreciate you. And I look forward to the future, and I hope you will come along for this journey with me. Thank you. Take care.